Alright, so here we have another angle. That building is truly huge. I mean, look how far back it goes.
It makes you wonder how many people went in and out or through these buildings, right? Since
Since
1884.
1884.
Wow.
That's crazy. And all of the horrific things that happened here.
Yeah. Definitely dark, I guess dark history,
Very dark.
stays within these buildings and their walls.
Alright, so here we are actually coming up to a location map where you actually can see where all the buildings are at and what the buildings were used for.
And this is right where we started the Central State Hospital and admissions. But
So you can see how large this place really is.
I'll take a photo of it, so it will be available on our Instagram and Facebook pages. So make sure to check it out.
Yeah, guys, make sure you follow us. Yes, guys, don't forget to follow us on our Instagram and our Facebook page. And also, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.
And
And
leave us comments too. We really love when you guys leave us comments
see
on our
what you guys
videos.
think. We love to hear what you guys think. If you guys have any interesting
Suggestions,
antidotes,
feedback.
right. If you've been to any of the places we've been to, if you guys have been to any of those places, we love to know that.
Or
And
anything you guys might want to see. If you have anything in mind that you perhaps would like us to check out, we can definitely take
absolutely.
that into consideration.
And don't forget to turn on that notification bell so you know when our next upcoming video is about to
Yeah.
be uploaded.
You don't want to
So,
miss our videos.
no, you don't. So, thank you
Thank
guys.
you.
Here we are at another abandoned building. We came from up there, as you can see, that's the building we were at earlier, the E building shaped, the E shaped building.
Humongous building.
Yes, and we came over here, and it's actually pretty interesting as well. This is a school, and the school looks to be abandoned. Not quite sure, but it looks like the school is also abandoned. I don't foresee many children coming to the school considering there's barely anyone
No,
around
it's so
here.
secluded back
This
here.
place, again, this is like an abandoned town. There's really, I don't see children coming to this school.
Ah! Stop it! Leave me alone! Ah! Leave me alone! Oh my God. Bro, leave me alone! No! Help! Somebody help me! Ah! Leave me alone! Oh my
Now, coming up here to the right side of your screen, you will see the buildings that we visited a while ago in the video when we were walking. And if you remember, those are the buildings that were built to resemble the shape of the letter E. Now, we did definitely find that amazing, considering that the buildings date back to the 1800s. And you would also notice that the back, it's also fenced in throughout the area. So definitely keep that in mind if you do decide to come in, because it's definitely gated. And there were quite a few areas surrounding all these abandoned buildings, and there were quite a few houses like the one you're seeing now on the screen. Now, for the most part, they look all abandoned. However, we're not sure if they are or not, or perhaps if there's anyone living in the houses here. And we're about to drive in through this area that has quite a few houses. It definitely makes you feel like something out of the Walking Dead show because of the way the houses look. Now, we did not see anyone whatsoever in these areas while we were either walking around most of the buildings or where we were driving by this specific area where these houses are. And if you do decide to walk near them, you would perhaps see how they look up close. And they definitely don't look like there's anyone living there. However, we definitely don't know for sure. But, you know, regardless, if you do want to visit this area, just be mindful in case there's anyone there, just to avoid any conflict, I would say. But really, really interesting, whether you decide to walk and look at them or drive by as we did. Either way, it's definitely interesting. Now, this is the main building that we visited in part two, if you remember, and you're looking at the area from the side. We wanted to drive by and see what it looked on the side. Definitely quite a really beautiful architecture. Look at the stairway on the side. It's really, really interesting. And it's still really surreal to think that this building dates back to the 1800s, and it's, at least from the outside, it looks like it's in really good condition so far. Now, this is next to the White Building, or what we call the White House, because it really looks like the White House, and that's the back of this other huge building that you will see momentarily, that it's also abandoned, and you would see all the windows are boarded up, so there's no windows whatsoever, no glass or anything that you can see inside the building. And we were wondering why that would be the case. As you see right here coming up, there's no way that you can look inside at all. So it makes you wonder, like, did something happen back in the day and they had to board up all the windows, perhaps to keep people from wanting to break in, because unfortunately, as you may imagine, some people misbehave. So maybe they did that to protect the building, because again, all these buildings date back to the 1800s, so they're really, really old. And look at that architecture in the front. It does really make you wonder what it would have looked like back in the day. I'm sure it was definitely stunning, but again, something out of The Walking Dead, at least for us. That's what we felt like. We were in a town that would have been part of the show. Now, this is pretty much next to the huge building that we just saw, and it looks like it's an abandoned auditorium, which is really, it's a shame, because it's a beautiful architecture, and again, the windows are all boarded up. And as you drive by, if you do decide to drive by all these buildings that you would see throughout this area, which is quite a big area, all these buildings that you are looking at, they're all abandoned. There's no one there whatsoever. We did not see a single person in any of these areas. The only place that we saw people were close to the asylum, and it's because there's an actual church not so far from it where they were having a funeral. Now, this looks like it's also it would have been a factory back in the day. We're not sure what kind of factory that would have been, but it's definitely abandoned. It's really, really interesting as you pass by because it looks like it's frozen, as if it was frozen in time. And we were wondering, what kind of products they would have made back in the day or when it was opened, but it definitely looks old, as you can tell. And it's really, really lovely to look at um, as you drive by. We decided to drive by because since it's such a huge area, it would have taken us longer to be able to walk around these places, as you may imagine. You can tell how big it is. And this is how isolated it is towards the back of this area. You would see here this huge building. It looks like it's for sale because you will see a sign coming up saying that it's available. And we did notice some windows that were open. So I'm assuming perhaps, you know, there are few times when maybe people do decide to come inside the buildings. Again, we cannot stress this enough. Just be mindful because there's always, always security passing by. And if they see you doing anything, they will yell at you to get off the property. So just be careful with that. You definitely don't want to get in trouble. Now, not so far from the factory, we did find this abandoned again, I have to say abandoned because all of them are, but this church is really, really interesting. I love the way the architecture looks, and again, it makes me think like it's definitely frozen in time. As you noticed, there was a door even open, but nevertheless, really, really interesting. And there's more factory buildings around and structures that are also, not pretty much abandoned. And this is the when you're about to leave that area, this is the main building you would see, and to your left, another huge building that is just sitting there. And as we were about to start driving here, we didn't notice this sign to your right that says GMC parking. It makes you wonder if it's really that place if it's really open. Maybe perhaps if you do visit this area during the week, you might be able to see people, but at least since it was a Saturday, we did not see anyone. At least walking for the most part, we didn't see anyone at all. And there were quite a few cars that were driving by, but that was pretty much it. Besides all the cars that were arriving for the funeral that we saw at the church. But other than that, there was really not a whole lot of, cars or anyone really. We did see police car passing by a few times, besides obviously the security. So they're definitely, we don't know who might be watching these buildings, excuse me, but someone is definitely watching the videos or at least monitoring the videos to perhaps if they notice anything right away, they will go on location. Now, this building we did visit before in part of our video, but that was just a side of it. Now, you're looking at downtown Milledgeville. It's really tiny. Now, this area it's really populated because it has a huge university that dates back to the 1800s. So you will see a lot of, students throughout the town. We did notice that a lot. We don't know if it was because they were having parties in the different frat houses or not, but it was definitely heavy with a lot of students throughout the area. It's a really cute and small downtown, but It looks like it has a lot of stores and places to, whether you're looking for places to eat or stores. They even have a governor's house that date back to the 1800s as well that you can visit for sure. Now, we were about to drive here through this area, and to the left side, um, we heard live music, and you will see people at the park right there, and they were playing actually jazz, live jazz music. So that was definitely nice to see and hear. And we were just driving by, as you can tell, just to explore a little bit more of the downtown area and look at that movie theater. It looks really old as well and vintage, but definitely a cute area to visit if you're ever in the mood to visit Milledgeville. Again, small area, small downtown, but nevertheless really lovely to visit. So we do hope that you enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and share. We hope to see you on the next one. Bye.